Hi, I'm James Briggs, and welcome back to That's One Big Pile of Bricks. I'm here today with Caleb and Rick.
Yay!
It's Rick James!
There we go. And then you got to do that. Sorry, Jason.
What time is it, Caroline?
So, I don't know if
We've got one new Lego set
one
today.
one new Lego set. One new Lego
We
set.
will do a full store tour.
Full store tour of everything.
We've
Hold
got one new Batmobile.
We have more than one new Batmobile, thank you very much, young man.
Oh, and one gift with purchase. Don't miss out.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not.
Look, Caleb all of a sudden's got attitude. What's happened? What happened to the
It's
good
our
Caleb?
favourite thing. I love it.
What's
I watch every single store tour.
She's
the last?
I'm
the next-
serious.
religious. She actually does. She
Why?
watches
They're not that
everyone.
exciting.
Because we live for them.
It's just...
If you can see Alex's cool shirt, we'll get a photo later. Just like, that's me praising the Lego gods right there, like that.
Rick James Bricks.
What time is it, Rick?
You know what's funny about that is
Oh.
You've
that,
got to say time for a podcast.
well, it is time for a podcast.
Oh, we're running out of time.
Sorry,
Give it
guys,
20
I'm just
minutes signal already.
Core story element's not in. All right.
Oh my god.
So what would you guys like to talk about today?
You tell us, Rick.
I don't know. Should we talk about Lego, I guess? That's what
We
we're
can talk
here.
about some Lego.
A random side point. Do you know that sometimes we call you two-plate Bricks? Do you know
I
that?
forgot about
Sometimes we
that.
call you
Two-plate James.
two-plate James.
Why?
Right. It's because when we first walked into your store, we saw the Lego brick that's on the logo,
Yeah.
but it's not as thick as a normal Lego brick on the side. Like it's slightly.
It's almost just two plates.
It's almost
rather than,
two plates.
What, the
high.
one that's the 3D one?
Yeah, right on the emblem.
It's two plates rather than.
And we're like, two-plate James.
It's like 2.5 plate James.
You know, now I'm going to overanalyze that. And be like, every time I walk into the stupid store, I'll be like, oh, when I get back on Monday, I'll be
No,
like,
it makes it way back. Look, if it was,
it'd be too, like,
mathematically accurate, it'd just be like, oh, gosh, you know.
Yeah, it'd be like okay.
two plate
But
James.
it's tasteful.
Two-plate James.
Two-plate James. It's,
Just throwing in the insults today, aren't we? Like,
It's a conversation starter. It's any attention's good attention, potentially.
because you guys have been to the store. I flew you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
down
Yes.
at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's
Oh
right.
my god, that was
amazing.
a good
experience.
day, but
It was
the longest
fun.
day of my whole life.
It was exhausting.
We were in Melbourne for like 12 hours or
Yeah,
something.
and then I drove you to the airport.
Yeah.
Take it-
We were
yeah.
like, bye.
Yeah.
You
See
came
ya.
in and out.
That was amazing.
Did a quick
Thanks
meet and
for that.
greet,
Yeah.
which was incredible.
I think it's one of those days where like every single part of the day was novel, and that's what
Yeah.
makes there's nothing that became familiar. Like every new person that you meet, and
Totally.
and new place, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, new store, airport.
Do you
like
guys
it
still
was-
doing like meet and greets? You still doing those things?
Hardly.
Like, yeah, it's mostly sort of happens at like
Events.
yeah,
shows.
Brickspos, events, different things like that. Or visiting. I mean, I do a lot of stuff where I visit a lot of like schools and churches and things like that, and meet with like lots of like kids. I went up with this grade 2 class in Canberra recently. So fun.
cute.
Because you like
It's just incredible.
this is not gonna. I don't want it to sound weird, but you love kids, right? Like
Oh, I love it.
it sounds really weird.
I
Jason's laughing.
no, I love.
No, but you know what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
without sounding weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
For me, it was genuinely. I think the first time, like, there was part of it, but there was so much new inputs that you sort of just trying to deal with everything, the newness of it. But for Grandmasters, I think because there was so much pressure about performance, I had to think a lot about a kid that's watching the show behind the screen, and that is going to be playing Lego and creating their own stories
So
with their
cool.
family behind the scenes, and that's
Yeah.
what made me. That's what allowed us, I think, to sort of keep laughing and just not take it too seriously. I think because I don't know. At its roots, it's for kids. It's about playing, about having fun, celebrating creativity, and
You guys did
that's
a
what
pretty
kids are all
amazing
about.
job. Like you did a pretty good job. You
We
can't.
try. It's
Yeah.
hard. Like, it's hard. It sounds silly. It is hard to have fun in an environment like that. Season 4, I felt like was easier to have fun because it was just like, oh, hang out with friends and building Lego and
No
whatever.
stakes.
Yeah.
It's only if you made it.
Whereas I
feel
feel like everybody, and maybe the others will say the same, is like we felt like we need to kind of prove ourselves a bit, that we deserve to be there. Like the pressure was just that next level.
And
you know?
sometimes, like, if you did well, it was like you've met expectations. But
Yes.
if you sort of disappointing yourself a little bit, then it was like now you've fallen beneath. So it was hard to really feel like you were doing something truly exceptional or, something like that, to feel like you should be there, which is silly because you were invited back because they wanted to see you do another round. But it's just weird. Living for performance, it's strange.
You should be used to it. You're going to become a lawyer. That's what life's going to be about.
I know. But I'm not going to think about that. But it clocks off, 9 to 5,
True.
More or less. But, yeah.
Would you go back and do it again?
Oh, I don't know, man. If they begged us.
It's hard, right? Because you've just come off... I think what's hard for you guys is that you did season 4 and it was fun, and then you went into Grandmasters not knowing what to expect. You're like, it's going to be like another season 4, and they're like, haha, joke's on you. It's twice as hard.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the pressure hard.
Yeah.
It was. I think, I don't know, I was still tossing up about whether or not I thought coming straight off season 4 into Grandmasters essentially was either a positive or a negative.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, oh, yes, we're hot off the press. We remember how it all goes and how it all works, whereas the others, like it's been, for some of them, years since they've been in the studio.
Look at Henry.
Totally. Well, Brixmas, but
Yeah.
But, yeah, because then I was like, okay, that's great. But also, we've kind of just poured all of our creativity into one season. Do we have anything left that, to give creatively?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, yes, no, maybe, yeah.
I feel like it was probably... I don't know if you see it this way, but maybe it was probably a disadvantage for the first sort of half, and then the second half, I feel like it was an advantage. I think. Because I think going back in, I think you just felt a little more tired. You didn't necessarily feel like you had any new ideas. You didn't have a sort of a full reset. Probably the biggest advantage was that we knew exactly how each other thought, and your interests are more or less the same, and things like that. Whereas I think if you had a 4-year wait since season 1, or 3 years for season 2, I feel like you still maybe had to do a little bit of figuring out with your partner a little bit.
Or even a new partner. Like Sarah and Henry, Kale and Trent, while each in their own amazing builders, obviously, it's so hard. It's so hard trying to work with somebody else. And that's not like even a personality thing. It's truly just figuring out how to work with somebody else, like watching you the whole time.
Well, and trying to find, like you said, the same flow, right? Like, especially with Sarah and Henry, they're both very creative.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you imagine there could be some clashing because it's too hard to be like, in sync with each other. You got no practice. It's not like you guys, you had the practice, right? This is what's Alex's strengths and what's Caleb's strength. Caleb's strength is just mimicking Britman. Yeah. Alex did most of the work,
Yeah.
Like we were guilty. I think we were both guilty of that as well. Like at first, thinking that you were right and you knew what was the best idea, and you know what I mean. Having to do that again with, a new partner in an environment where the stakes are that much higher and it's evident that they're that much higher. Immense pressure. I couldn't have done that.
Did you feel like you guys deserved to be in the finale?
At first, we definitely didn't. Well, I didn't. I didn't believe that, we should really be there at all. I understood, but we were in this really weird... It took us a few eps to really get back into kind of where we were and...
Yeah, I think... I sort of remember it. I mean, it's always mixed memory. Human memory is extremely fallible, but I sort of... The vibe that I remember is from that sort of first few episodes, even maybe 6, 7 episodes in, was just I just want to stay afloat, because, again, everyone notices, but the difference here is everyone's going to do amazing, and then if you do something that's slightly subpar, you're on the chopping block. And if that lines up with elimination, you're gone. And so then a lot of it was just, not wanting to embarrass yourself, and us going in there was like, let's... we've been invited back, so we don't want anyone to be like, why Caleb and Alex here, or man, they just got back here because they, maybe let's say someone thought that we fluked a second or something like that, and they're going to go, well, that was proof here because they petered out immediately. So then I think once we survived 1 or 2 eliminations, and we're like, oh, okay, and then after that, it was just kind of like, well, we've already sort of surpassed
last time.
Same with first.
Come on, man, we've done this once before. Let's just do it again.
Yeah,
have fun. Keep doing it.
Once you survive that first elimination, you kind of go, oh, well...
Yeah, sorry, cheap jokes.
Yeah.
That's truly universally across the board. That is every single team's worst.
Yeah. To want to be the first, because it's like, you don't get the experience, you're missing out on, the companionship of the whole crew,
Yeah. And it's not to say that it's not, you know what I mean, it's not shitting on anyone that was out first, but it's everyone's first goal. is to just make it past that first.
I think also, I don't think people at home understand that everyone can have a bad day.
Oh yeah.
Right? You guys can have a bad day and bang, it's over. Like, see you later.
And we did. We had awful days. You know? But, yeah.
And the pressure of being in the Grandmasters.
Yeah.
Like, having to prove to beat, because you came, unfortunately came second.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to, like, the goal is to win, right? At the end of the day, it's still competition. Your goal is to get to the finale.
Yeah.
And that's a race against all these other amazing talent.
It's a marathon, man. Yeah.
Yeah. There were so many fun elements to that sort of competitive side of it, at least, on air, where you're sort of, I think because it was part of season 4, I think every new season you kind of go, they're the kids, or, they're figuring out they have it easier because they're the later season, but we had to do it tough because we're the earlier seasons, things like that. And so I think going in and like working with Joss and Henry as well, particularly, and us working together as a little sort of, alliance, I guess, between
season
us.
4.
Yeah, helped us to get through and going, let's prove that season 4.
Totally.
And then so when people got eliminated, you're like, yes.
Pretty much. No.
Like, suck eggs, Henry. No.
No.
It's hard because you know how bad everybody wants it, right? You're like, man, for any season, everyone wants to be there. Right?
I wouldn't want to be on the later season with what's happening there. I just feel like it's really bad.
That just feels unfair.
It feels grossly unfair because if you're getting someone who has no experience with Lego Masters going on against worldwide Lego Masters,
totally,
you're going to get smashed.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that's going to prepare you for that.
Yeah.
Unless they're getting trained, which I doubt it because they don't do that. But it's like you're going to get on there and like we were talking about it coming up in the elevator. I was like, if it gets to the final 3 teams and they're Americans, I don't think the show's going to survive. Because I think if there's no Aussies towards the end, I think people will sort of go, there's no one to sort of root for.
Yeah,
Like
they'll still appreciate the Lego and the art, but it feels just like wildly unbalanced.
I'm just surprised they didn't invite like you guys back.
No one would have done it.
Well, I think that's the problem. I think too, Grandmasters was meant to be the end. Like, that's what I heard for ages. Grandmasters is the end. We're wrapping it up. We're done. We need to have a 5-year break and then give it a bit of a shake up.
Totally.
It's still the end of like a phase, I feel.
Yeah, I think
because
so
they
too.
very well, I think they're mixing up the format quite a lot with the next season, from what I understand. And,
well, clearly with like the whole different teams and international
some of the challenges
stuff
I'm hearing about it, and I think that.
Challenges? What challenges are you hearing about? Spill the beans, young man.
Plastic brick based, teamwork related.
I know some things too, and I'm being very careful not to get into trouble.
But yeah, it just sounds like the straight up format, and which I think is necessary. I don't think you really want to create an direct comparison between the two, and that's natural. That's what audiences have in their mind. But I also think just for the competitors on there, I want them to just be able to go on there and just throw themselves at challenges and be in this really unique environment where they can make whatever they want and have that full experience being, the television experience,
the LM experience.
Exactly, that LM experience, without having to feel like, we have to live up to all these people that have done it a million times before.
Because you guys don't have that feeling yet. Usually what happens is, say you're season 4 and then Grandmasters come in. If you weren't on that, you could understand what those people are going through. And you're experiencing all those emotions again. Now there's been like a bit of a break. Do you think going into the new season you're still going to experience those emotions, even though it's completely different?
Us as a viewer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You're going to disagree a lot with Brickman?
Maybe. We'll see.
Put it back on. I feel like I get softer towards Brickman over time. I think, I don't know.
Brickman doesn't, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
So many edits of making Brickman look pretty.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's a very, very kind man. It was good to speak to him at the
because you saw him at the store opening?
The Pit Street opening, and I got to speak with him for half an hour. He was just having a blast.
So
like,
nice.
He always just comes across like he's a bit of a fish out of water. Even when he's filming, he's kind of like, he takes on his role, but then as soon as the camera just goes off, he's like, I hate this TV stuff. It's not him.
Yeah.
And so even just seeing him at a big Lego store, he's like, great. And then he just starts like talking about the Lego models, because he's really just a big nerd about
in
the
Lego
back
bricks.
His
brain is
it's
like,
really
I
charming.
That Harbour Bridge. I know how much money I made off that. His brain's just thinking money.
The first thing the Brickman said, he's like, yeah, but it's in front of a big grey background. It doesn't really pop. That's all right,
Honest feedback.
Honest feedback.
He does it to himself.
He sees
Fair enough.
That's He
calls it how it is.
And I was like, I mean,
you were like,
pretty.
true.
I was like, Yeah, but man, you really should have thought about that planning. No. I was like, it's incredible. It's amazing what they make.
Yeah. I saw that bridge built. Oh, what are we now? We're in
bridge built. Oh,
bridge built. No, you know the harbour bridge that they have in the store. I saw that built maybe 6 months ago. He had it in his workshop, and when I saw it, I was like, dude, that's massive. He's like, where's it going? He was in a special store. I'm like, we know, like straight in. And he had all the builds ready to go pretty much. He was nearly done, and they were like packing it, trying to transport it up.
It's crazy. They got a team of full-time welders.
Yes.
Yes, a whole steel team.
Wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got like
magnitude
45, 46 people now.
Any welders up there?
Really?
Yeah, dude.
He's got like 24.
No, he's got 24 builders, and then there's like a box guy who makes all the wooden crates, and then there's like a metal guy.
15 brick boys running around.
It's just Caleb running around in shorts grabbing bricks for everybody.
That was the wardrobe that I was assigned.
At least it's not me running around.
It was a lot.
Wow. Okay.
But do you still get recognised? Not so much now. You're like an adult. You've got the beard.
Yeah, no. Surprisingly though, with the kids, it doesn't stop them in any way.
Cute.
Because I think they just, I guess when you're a young kid, it's one of your favourite shows, for example, they just are obsessed with it, and so it doesn't stop them at all. But yeah, it is super fun. But I think the weird way, I was walking the other day, and then like this like schoolgirl, she turns around suddenly, she's like, "You're Caleb from Lego Masters," and I was like, "Yeah, hey, how you doing?" And it's, "This is my favourite show ever, and I love Alex." And I'm like, "You guys, this is it's amazing to see that." And so I watch it with my family and things like that. And even at the school when we went and talked with the grade 2 class, one of the teachers was saying that their tradition with Lego Masters was to, as a family, make pizza and eat it every single Friday when they watch Lego Masters together. Friday night was a Lego Masters night.
That's cute.
Every single year.
That's so cute.
And his son was there. He was in year 4, not even part of the group. And he came in. He just wanted to help me in any single way. And he was cleaning things up. I was like, "Mate, you don't need to do this." He was like, "No, I just love it. I just want to help out." And supposedly during the finales, he was making little ballot boxes so that all his family members could vote
that's cool.
on each of the builds. Like, he just loved it. It's just amazing, And he said, "Yeah, like it's got our family back into Lego, and we build together, and all these sort of things." That's what it's about for me. It's like being part of this big creative process, helping families to just discover something they can all do together, because it just truly is something for everyone, all ages. And you see that, I mean, AFOL's basically run Lego these days. But,
I'm not making any comment about what Lego sells or does anymore because last time I did, I got into trouble. So.
Yeah, $500 plus. Here's a little 6-stud wide card, and it's $1,000.
That'll be $1,000.
And if you buy it on this certain date, you can get a gift with purchase.
I'm not.
And
saying
it's a 1x1
at all.
No,
it's trying to get me into trouble for a change. Usually, I'm trying to get everyone else into trouble.
What's the goss? What's the goss?
What goss do you want to know? Like, you asked me, and I'll be honest.
What gossip?
What gossip? You tell me. I haven't heard anything.
Well, you were just saying that you heard about the next season.
I can tell you who's on there. Like you would have seen one of the US Lego Masters at the Lego store. Did you see it? We can talk about this because this airs.
I honestly don't know. I know a couple.
Maybe we need to be careful because this airs in February. So we're going to be careful what we say because I don't want to get in trouble later by Endemol striking against me.
So he doesn't want the goss anymore. You happy to give it out a second ago, Rick? Interesting.
If you've watched if you watch season 1 US Lego Masters, there is a girl on there with coloured hair, the blonde hair.
Great.
She's on this season.
Right.
Because she's in Sydney and was filmed at the Lego store.
Right. She can't just be in Sydney?
I wouldn't know.
From America? Like, really? Randomly?
It's a pretty big store.
But what are they filming
the biggest
in
store
Sydney
in the
now?
Southern Hemisphere and said, "Give me some of that."
Yeah, half the store is filled with Lego City.
The new one?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. all I see is like, can't afford. Too much.
Hilarious.
I'm not saying anything towards comments about pricing at all.
It's just for me personally. That's all.
Yeah, but you're going to be a lawyer soon. Like, come on.
Who knows? Who knows what
you're going to be a lawyer earning like $1 million an hour.
That's your rate, right? $1 million an hour.
Oh, we'll charge that minimum. Yeah.
$40 a letter or whatever they charge. Like, you write hello and it's like $250.
Oh gosh, no, never. No, not about the money.
Caleb's for the people.
Caleb is for the people. Caleb's really sweet.
For the people.
Caleb's probably the nicest one on Lego Masters.
Trent and Josh are pretty cool.
Trent and Josh.
Trent and Josh are amazing.
Trent and Josh are
I love Trent. That was.
I think he had a pretty rough time on Grandmasters.
It's just hard. Again, new partner, new vibes. Kale-ish. I don't know.
I don't like saying too much bad about Kale because me and Kale don't see eye to eye. And when you're two strong personalities, you're going to clash, right? Like, that's the real thing about it. So, like, some people will gel with him and some people think he's fantastic and some people just don't gel with him.
Yeah.
And I don't gel with him, and that's fair. That's what happens sometimes. Yeah. You guys might know a bit more about it than I do. And if you got any gossip, feel free to spill it.
That's us. Gossip. Trent is incredible.
You know us, Team Gossip.
Team Gossip.
And then it's like,
no, you didn't leave me hanging. It would have been hard, regardless of who your freaking partner was.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it was hard for people like Henry, like, because he had Cade. Cade's an amazing builder, and Sarah builds great as well, but it's not the same. You're not building
different.
Yeah.
Not the same process. Yeah.
I feel a bit for Henry because he lost on Christmas and then he lost on Grandmasters.
Yeah.
We can't win everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, Henry.
Well, he still holds the fact that he won the first one.
That's pretty amazing.
Awesome,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I did ask
paving the way, and there's no reference point. And I think we had a lot of references. I think that was one of the things I did the most was like studying previous Lego Masters. You try and come up with original ideas, but everything's a remix, and so it's hard.
And it's really hard not to feel like you're ripping off someone else's idea. Now there's been 5 seasons.
Totally.
You're gonna accidentally, because everyone borrows off everybody else, right? When you see something built.
Totally. You see something on the floor, even in the same challenge, you'll see something and go, oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. Or that's a great way to do something. Oh, great. It's just what happens.
Yeah. I mean, you can't hide all your secrets when you're all just building right next to each other all the time. I mean, even you see, with the wire challenges, things like that. Like once you see people, clamping stuff together and cranking out wheels, if you're really in the pits after 2-3 hours, you'd have something to go for. I mean, granted, you probably wouldn't win, but
I think
they're far behind. But
one big thing that I noticed difference-wise, season 4 to 5, definitely competition level. But one thing that just really sticks out for me was season 4, you get a brief, you go to the table, you decide what you want to do, and then eventually you ask the others, oh, what are you guys doing? Or, cool, whatever. Season 5, you're sitting at your table. Who's building this? Let's all go around the room and yell what we're all building right now so that we don't get too caught up in it or we know to change immediately.
Yeah, so you're not clashing, right? Because otherwise it's like bang.
There's no room for false starts, generally. I mean, it's something man like to say, but it is generally true. But also because of the quality, there's not... Maybe in a normal season, if you both had the same idea, you could be like, we'll probably have different interpretations or whatever. But now it's like if you go up against another team that can build really well and you're kind of going, I don't really want to run that risk, I
remember, it was specifically the Over the Edge waterfall one. We all were just like, this,
I had to call it out.
So many monkeys in a barrel.
Yeah, 4 people were like, monkeys in a barrel?
No!
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a genius idea. And everyone just goes, building something else. And...
So, I think that was like, competition-wise, there was little things like that just made it evident that...
Yeah.
Was there shorter time this season? Did they make it a bit harder for you guys?
I feel it was quite similar to season 4, honestly.
Yeah, because I think the sort of extra hour or sometimes 2 that you'd have in earlier seasons, I think was shaved off in season 4. So that probably did help us a little bit, but genuinely, like Grandmasters, it was maximum 10 hours until right at the end, and it was really long because then they wanted to see you do something truly great.
Wait. Rick James.
Genuinely though, we did that every single day.
4 times a day on set. The Rick James.
It was just the easiest way to just like laugh. We probably had
it's a trademark.
We had a backlog of probably like 50 different jokes. It would be between us and Joss and Henry of just different references to anything. It could be an intro reference within the season itself. Something that's just happened. Something that could happen. Something that's happened in previous seasons.
And none of it reached to like television?
Not really. The only... No, the only one I think about is Just Whack It On There.
Oh, just
Whack
it on. That's a reference to Gabby from Tim Ryan, Gabby from season 3. And I think it's...
The finale.
The finale with the circus.
They're trying to fix their circus tent roof.
Yeah.
And she's freaking out, and Ryan's trying to fix it, and she goes to put it on, she goes, just
whack it on. And so it got to this point after a couple of episodes filming Grandmasters. All we had to do was just do this. Just go, and that was all we had to do. And
you just start pissing yourself.
We just do that, or you just do this. There was this one...
You started.
What was the episode?
What have I created?
There's this episode where there was just a bunch of lights coming from the ceiling or something, some angelic lighting, and then we'd stand underneath it and then just unveil this. Rick James Briggs, yeah.
What have I started? What have I created?
It's incredible.
And then it doubled over with a climb cut that we did.
Oh, because climb cut is...
Because climb cut is like this. Yeah. So it's just... Everything just...
You're welcome.
Another layer.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Anytime.
Yeah. My favourite, though, is reference to season 2, to the Trent and Josh 3D art challenge, which is where they built like a cowboy bull rider coming out of the ceiling. And he's like... he's really ripping it. His body shape is truly like elongated out. So whenever you didn't know what to say or were kind of down the dumps a bit, you just rip one. Just act like it.
You feel better.
Yeah.
Between takes, a very common way to pass the time was to do Lego Masters charades.
Yeah.
And no context, you go, I'm just going to do a build. And then you act it out. And that was a very common one.
Yeah.
And the whole floor was doing it. Everyone was loving it.
What have I created?
I realised that we're Bombardier here at the moment.
I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but that's fine.
Yeah, we also joked that if we had to do another full season, that there would just be so many random jokes and references that we would create 100% unusable footage.
Totally.
Would have to make Alex wear that shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they would tell you, take it off immediately.
Yeah.
You're not promoting
speaking in riddles.
Yeah.
Truly.
It'd just be like... Because our producer would always like, what are you guys laughing about? It's like, we don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time.
Sometimes it'd just be like, I don't know. I remember one of my favourite memories was when we were building season 4 on the Fisherman on the Cloud. I was under the table doing the cloud or the boat or whatever, and you just...
Actually making the Lego build.
Yeah.
That would be judged for the competition.
Working towards, yeah. And you showed me the cat's head, and you just had made it cross-eyed because you thought it was funny, and just showed it to me, and I was pissing myself laughing, laughing so hard. And the first AD comes over, and he was like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, I don't know.
Did you see this?
And so they're like, do we need a producer? I was like, no.
No.
Oh, because they're like, did he do anything appropriate here?
Funny? We're like, no.
What's happened? It's good. We're hours behind, but it's good. Yeah.
I'll never forget the walking into Grandmasters and seeing the builds.
Yes.
Because you can see my absolute massive moon head on TV.
Oh my gosh.
It's just everywhere in the crowd. You just see this shiny head. Did you guys, once your build was finished and looked at the other builds, did you feel like you guys had a chance to win?
No. I think what ours was different, what was different about ours was that it was like whimsical.
Yeah.
Like the silliest.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing by any means, but I just think there was a big difference from us to the others.
And Scotty and Owens, my God.
It's crazy. It was amazing.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think we kind of sensed that the way Brickman had probably talked in his reactions with Scott knowing throughout it, that he resonates quite a lot with that build, and realistically you kind of need Brickman's vote to really win, because the audience voting tends to be pretty split, and so. But I think we thought, you never know. It's always up for grabs, but again, once you get to the end, in the words of Joss from Joss and Henry from season 4, you're just there to create your own legacy piece at that point.
We'll try again too.
Yeah, and that's what you got. And that's what Joss is saying. Actually, I mean, I'll leave his podcast, I guess, but
I'm sure he's going to rib me because he watches them all and listens to all of them.
Yeah,
and if I drop something about Joss in a podcast, he'll bring it up to me randomly. I'm like, dude, I don't remember. I filmed 50 of these things. So I don't remember what I said in the last 4. But he brings it up all the time. So
Joss is onto you.
Joss, if you're listening, we love you, man. We love you.
You're okay. No.
Yeah, finale's crazy. I think, like, the second for me, the second I saw that city sit on top of the Titan, I was like, it's over.
When I walked in, you walk in and you're just like, I walked in and straight away I said to Billsy, they've won it. Straight away you're like, they've won.
I remember saying to my mum and grandma who were there, I was like, don't stand too close to it because it will fall.
It just looks
really
unsafe.
You're like, there's genuine reactions from me throughout the whole final episode of just me looking at Scott and Owen's build. Every time they did it, they found a second or half-second footage where they just cut to me and I'm just like, there's genuinely a bunch of shots if you watch it where I'm going like this.
Yeah.
You're just like...
Just in disgust. I was like...
In disgust?
I was just like, what is going on?
I know.
When I looked at it from a distance. So I didn't get too close to the table because I'm like, that thing's going to take someone out.
Seriously.
Because it's the way it's just sitting there.
I honestly said it'll fall and crush you. So don't stand next to it.
But yeah, it's incredible. And I think, again, this show, it rewards you for risk. And that's again, why the finale is right at the end because, the 80% of that.
That's why it's
yeah, because it's at the end. Yeah, but most of the competition, you're just building up the guts and the self confidence to sort of try something different. And I think that's why no matter how many Lego seasons you do, Lego Master seasons, you'll still have the same ideas coming up because people just sort of want to go something that feels familiar and achievable and things like that. And but if you pull it off, it pays off. So.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you on season 10.
Yeah. The Grand Masters.
Grand Masters. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, at the rate they're going, we'll be at season 10 in the next couple of months, so they'll just keep pumping them out until they make more and more of them.
Yeah.
We have... I don't know.
I was waiting for a comment. Anything else to add? I'm waiting.
Oh, no, it was such an amazing experience. It's always an honor to be, invited back on, and who knows, what
I appreciate the time, even though you've just ribbed me, but that's fine.
No, we love it. It's flattery. Imitation.
You guys want to come do it? And we were like, hell yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah.
You guys haven't been as difficult as Henry from season 1. It's taken me 50 podcasts to pin him down.
He loves it, though. He
does.
You know that he does.
It's a full, 2 years of hounding him to get on top.
He's never done one.
No, this is the first time we did it today.
How does he remember anything that happened from season 1?
Well, this is what I was like, do you remember anything? He's like, yeah, I can make it up. I said, yeah, that's fine. Because it's hard, right? Because it's been 5-6 years. It's been a long time. But he remembers losing, so that's fine. That's all that matters.
I barely remember.
No. He always says things like, you got to remember, right? He always says that.
Cool, man, cool.
Yeah, cool, yeah. Oh, no, that's sick. That's sick. It's so cool.
We're going to clip this for the promo, and I'm going to tag Henry in it because, shout out to Henry. We appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Of course, even though I feel a bit tender, but that's...
Oh, Rick. Please.
Flattery.
You love it.
We love it.
A little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we can follow... I don't think Caleb's very active on social media.
No.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, bits and
enough.
pieces.
Alex has got 2 social medias, a makeup one and a normal one.
Oh, there you go. I was like, do I? But yes.
You do. You have a makeup one where you shoot
I never
cool
post
makeup.
the makeup stuff.
I know, but you do sometimes.
Yeah.
But you post all the...
He's on it, mate.
I have a makeup one.
He's on it.
I know what's going on. I pay attention. I pay attention to all the social media just in case,
You never know.
Who is that person?
Yeah.
Who's that guy in the background?
Oh my gosh, they're wearing a season 9 hat. Oh my gosh, that gives it away. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Caleb
American?
and Alex.
Thank you, of course. And thanks for joining us, Rick, on That's One Big Pile of Bricks. Till next time.
Bye, Caroline.
No!
No, I'm sorry. Awesome.